Hello everyone. Hello, thank you for watching, thank you for the support, thank you for the subscribers, thank you for everything, really, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. Today I'm going to be talking about something completely different compared to what have been the subject that I've been treated so far. We're going to be talking about polygamy, like you saw on the title. Thought that it was something, it's something that is important to me, something that I experienced through my parents, something that I didn't really see that much around me growing up. Because that's the funny thing, we have this idea that in Africa, everybody is a polygamist, which is not true. Like a lot around us, there were very, very few, like when I was growing up, when I was little, there were very, very few people who had more than one wife. Most people around us, like 99%, had only one wife. So I'm gonna be treating a bit, we're gonna be talking a bit about before, the way before compared to now, the reason why people went into polygamy before, and why, what do we observe like right now, what are the reasons why people are deciding to go into polygamy, run even to both period, the past and the present still emerge at some point, but you have like some big differences compared to what was done before, and also similarity. So what is polygamy? So polygamy is referred to is a practice of marrying multiple spouses. So a man who marry more than one wife. A woman who married, some places where a woman can marry more than one man. That one is a different name. That's not what we are talking about right now. We are talking about polygamy, which is the fact of marrying man marrying more than one wife. So we know that, all across the world, in many places, polygamy is illegal. Exactly like or Europe, America, South America, even most Asian country. I know that recently in the Utah, in America, they have lifted a bit, because before it was a criminal offense, which was like it was a felony offense. So now, since recently, they have like how to say that, they have, yeah, it's no more felony offense now. It's almost compared to a ticket offense, which is like almost not a big deal, compared to what it was before. And to be honest with you, I'm not surprised, because what I was surprised is like, well, normally when you hear about polygamy, you only hear about Africa. So I was very surprised. I knew that there were those traditional family, all around America, for example, who were into polygamy. But the whole time, everybody knew that was illegal, but they were still living their life, having many wives and many kids. Until I start seeing like all this show on polygamy on TV, I was very surprised. So I knew that the way that it was showing, the way that it was the showcase it, and the way that people view it, it might gain some positivity, like people might see it differently. Although that's not how the reason people will go into polygamy in America, or in those traditional places, like who are really like staying still living like in very traditional, can be very different of why the reason why people go into polygamy in Africa. I also know that there's some places in India, for example, Muslims are allowed to marry more than one wife, but everybody else is illegal. There's also some few places where people are allowed to marry more than one wife in India still. So we know that, yeah, like I said, remain illegal everywhere in Europe. and what is my thought? What are my thoughts on polygamy? To be honest with you, polygamy for me, I never view polygamy as something negative. People will say, because yes, like I said at the beginning of the video, I got experience of polygamy through my parents, And I have to tell you that that relationship for me, it was, as a child view it with through the child's eyes, it was positive. It was something that was mostly positive for me growing up. So that's the first reason. The second reason is that I feel like when people are doing things properly the way they should be done, and two adults that are consenting, two adults who agree, they know the term, the rules, whatever, to go to engage into polygamy, I don't think there's anything negative about it. I feel like, we are not talking about forced marriages. We are talking about two adults, who are consentant to decide that they're going to go into polygamy. In general, for me, polygamy is not something negative. Polygamy also is not for everyone. That's another thing that is very, very important. And we have men that don't know. They will tell you that they would never go into polygamy because it's not for them. Although these days is like some type of fantasy for many men who feel like is the next best thing to do, but because they're seeing it more for their own lifestyle, for the one personal individual need, what the things their needs are. But if you really have to view it, you have to really practice it the way they should. I mean, is not things are different. It's different because it's not always the right. It's also the it's not always what you're gonna get, and also what you're gonna give. So it can be a lot for many people emotionally, in every level. So many men clearly will tell you that it's not for them. So yeah, like I said, like growing up around me, there was not many people who went to polygamy. And like what people will always tell you about Africa, I don't know. I don't know about the region, but me, I'm from the south of Cameroon. There were very few people. I knew very few people who had more than one wife. So my thoughts are that I'm not against it at all. I'm really not against it, but I feel like it has to be done properly, and it's not for everyone. Those are my thoughts. And also another, I also believe that the strict like right now, if you compare it to the past, let's say what is happening right now, the strict category of people who go into polygamy. The strict category, you have those who go into polygamy mainly because of they want a kind of access to something that it might be like forbidden, not really forbidden, instead of going hiding to go and see more than one woman, you can actually do it openly, so for many people it's only because of those reasons. And most of the time it doesn't work. It ends up being catastrophic because you're dealing with human emotion, and you cannot just base human emotion only on your own need, so-called need, because from the moment you enter polygamy with more than one woman, there's so many things that come to play. So you can't just limitate it to your bare needs. It has to be, you really have to consider everybody else. So those who really go into it because that's will allow them to have access many women instead of having access only to one woman. It will be openly, they want you to hide to do it. And then you have those who really want to do it properly, a bit like the way it was done before. They want to do it properly, they do it they do it the right way, they really want it to work. They have in the back of the mind, they have really something tangible, something strong. It can be something, maybe their own experience when they were little, what they saw around them. They want to reproduce the same thing with the same positivity. They really go into it with open-minded and positive, in a positive impulse. You have those one, and then you have the one who even the wife, I mean, they were married, they had a wife, and for the most time that they were married with the first wife, they have never even talked about polygamy. They have never expressed the need of having another wife. And then one day they will just get up on their own, they will, because maybe they've been seeing somebody already, and they will just decide for some reason to decide that woman, they want to take that woman as a second wife. And they will do it mostly, they will do it alone. Like, even though that the first wife will not even be aware of it. First wife won't even know about it. For me, that's like very, very, very wrong. And now if you come back a bit, like why do people used to feel the need to marry more than one woman before? It was what you need to know first is that in Africa in general, uh, family have a great impact on the individual. You know, family comes before the individual. So it was like that before. It's still a bit like that today, but today people are kind of like distancing themselves from it. But before, that's how it was. So it's, you're not planning your life just for you. You're not making plan just for you. You have to make plan and consider everything around you, everything that was done before, everything people did think before, what you are irritated, like I mean, legacy. When we talk about legacy, it's not just about, is more than that. Legacy is really, really large. It covers a lot of things. It's a legacy of those who were before you, like many generations before you. A legacy of what they left. We mostly is the land. Like we have many generations who were born into that land. A legacy of so many things. So, for example, if we take the example of a man who's gonna marry one woman, and then even you choose a wife because both of them love each other, both of them get along very, very well. They have a very beautiful marriage, but at some point into the marriage there's no baby. And because when it comes to all the infertility problem, like everywhere in the world, most of the time people always view it as a woman problem. So generally the family will put the pressure that you need to get, or you have to get rid of your wife. And the person will say, I love my wife, I'm not going to get rid of my wife. Okay, you don't want to get rid of your wife, you have to get another wife. So that's how you're going to go. And so that's why some people will find themselves marry another man. Another example is, for example, is a land in Africa in general. Most people have a lot of land. When I talk about land, I'm not talking about a plot of land. No, it's a lot of land. Like where I'm coming from is forest. Like when I see large area of land, forest, the river, like you own a lot of lands, and normally those land have been into the family for forever. So as if you're the only one to be there to live on those land, let's say that you were born, you have four sisters, your four sisters have gotten married, move away, it's only you now. You have to carry the legacy forward. So you don't have any other choice than to carry it, to do that work. The work is overwhelming because working the land is a lot of work. You can't do it alone. Even if you marry one wife, your wife, you also want to have kids. So as you're having kids, let's say your wife is pregnant, obviously she can't work not even half of what that a lot of things will come into play that will make it that it's impossible just for you and your wife to be there and to maintain everything and to sustain everything. So for that reason, you have to get at least another wife. Not only because of for more than that. For example, so another thing that used to happen a lot is that people used to, like, contraception was natural in the sense that when a woman give birth, she will not be intimate with the husband, and the baby is already walking, like when the baby has stopped breastfeeding. So when the baby start walking, like around 1 year plus, that's when she can be intimate again with the husband. So we are talking about over a year. Man, some men might be able to say a year without having intercourse, but many other men, they can't. Even if they can, it's not, people don't view it in the positive light that a man, they're gonna be. So that's another reason why some men too will have more than one wife. So that if one is having a baby, or one is to work the land, to have also more. I mean, the more women you marry, the more babies you have, and the more people you have that are gonna be around to help around, to do things around. So that was for all those things. And another point was you could also have a one wife. You have plenty kids, and then the one wife don't give you a male kids. Even though in Africa in general, all the kids are very precious, but still people believe now girl will get married, she will move away with her husband, So when all the girls go married, what's gonna happen to what is left behind? When the dad is too old, the mom is too old to continue, or even when they passed away, who's gonna take care of all those things? For that reason also, people can decide now, okay, you need more than one wife. Some people might just do it because it's a tradition. That's what they've been doing in their family. That's why it's always been no man have only one wife, men have more than one wife. So we have to do it because that's how it has always been. It can also be bad for love, man can be in love and then with a wife and then fall in love again. That's possible. You can fall in love again, because I hear a lot of people say you can't love two people at the same time. But a lot of men out there are married. They have a woman and a wife in the house that they say that they love, but they still have somebody else that they also say that they love. So what is a problem when the man actually get those women openly, marry them and live with them? What is that a problem? Than when the man goes out there, have 1, 2 other women plus his wife out there that he love, he take care of them and all those things. I mean, why does it have to be a problem to actually do it openly? That's something that I don't understand. So yes, those was like the main reason I think we're done before. For those I give it, I mean that you just narrow it and I just summarize it. So, and I say nowadays, yes, it's a bit all over the place. It's a bit anyhow, because also back then, the first wife will be included in all the process when you are going to marry a second wife. The first wife will be part of everything. The first wife was not left out. The first wife was not isolated. The first wife will not be happy with the idea that the husband is going to marry another wife, but still she will make sure, because that's how he is, she would have to take part to it. She has to be part of it. Obviously, she will be informed way before. January 11, she will be the one to go and see the family of the second wife that the husband want to marry. She will be the one to go and see them. And one woman to pay the bride price, I know many people, I hear many stories where the first wife is the one actually who pay the bride price for the second wife. All those things already create like some type of a connection. So that will, because you're marrying more than one wife, you're going to have many kids. You're supposed to build. And building is not just about building house. No, it's about building the relationship, building the connection, building all those things, make them stronger. So that you can really say that, yeah, because you're marrying, you're creating a bigger family. Bigger family has to also be bigger love, bigger everything. It's not to destroy. So normally you have to find a match that will match with your family. You have to find somebody who's going to respect the custom of the family. Who's going to respect the way the family things work in the family. You have to marry that person. You can't go and marry somebody you know that it's not a good fit. It's not going to fit. She's not going to agree with things going on. She's not going to follow the rules, if I can say that like that. She's not going to do it. Obviously, that would be a lot of headache, a lot of fight, a lot of problems. And I don't think that's what somebody will go and marry a second wife for. When you're going to marry a second wife, is to make things better, to make things bigger, to make more love, more everything. So that's another thing too. So that's why even when a husband is looking to marry another woman, the wife is the one actually who's gonna like kind of look into the community or further away from the community to see who will be the best fit or the good fit. That's how it was done before. So it was not something where a man get up one morning because he's having a sad chick. He decided, okay, you know that my mistress are gonna make my wife. No, it was not like that. Most of the time, the husband and the second wife have never met even, or sometimes even if they met, there's nothing between them. They know each other, but just know each other like that. Then they have not been intimate or anything. So by looking around the character of people, the character of the different girls around, the first wife can determine that this one will be the best fit for her family. If one is like that, bring it to the husband bring it to the rest of the family, the elders, they talk about that, they go and see the second family, and the whole wife is always like even in forefront of all the organization and everything going on. You know what? Once again, I'm gonna have to do part 2. I'm very, very sorry. Please follow me on part 2. Get to the end of the video on part 2. I'm very sorry. It's gonna be a short one, but I really have to do because, like I already said, 10,000. I'm having problem with long videos. I don't know why. So we're gonna stop there and go on part 2. Please, part 2.